I'm getting the airiness.
I don't know what
I'm getting that higher frequency airiness in there.
Why you gotta?
It helps. Hear me out.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
I'm done with this speech. I don't want the speech anymore.
Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast.
Hi.
We're here again.
I'll keep going through
White
this.
guys in the room doing a podcast.
Is there really no sound in space? Is it because there's no pressure?
Yeah, but there's lasers. Pew pew.
If you see like the Death Star explosion, it'd be like. Now there might be a sound if you're on a planet. Well, I don't even know.
Where does the sound waves go?
I've never got to top 3.
You gotta start picking better, man.
I pick good. You just don't like them.
You pick
I
two?
pick good. I pick them. I pick good.
Look, Daddy.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wing.
That's right, dear.
Dude, I can't take it. Welcome back to the... Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast, all you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs. I have a new microphone.
You do?
Yeah.
How do I sound, everybody?
Probably a little bit more annoying.
Hey.
Now they can hear you clearly. They can hear.
Hi, I'm Joseph.
Hi, I'm
Hopefully
Joseph.
that cuts down on the background jet noise.
Hopefully.
Opening announcements.
All
and,
right.
And, you know, kind of the tradition of the Wiseworks podcast. Things we got to get out of the way.
Always.
New microphone.
New microphone.
Josh is dealing with allergies. So he's
2 weeks ago, I was dealing with allergies.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn, sir.
yeah, so he's
When
going
is
to be
yours set in?
A little bit. Allergies been kicking
I'm
my
gonna try
butt.
to be on top. I've been taking vitamin C. I'm a little bit stuffed up, but
the
that's
past
it.
2 days I've been taking a bunch of vitamin C, but before that, no, I should have.
I don't think vitamin C helps with allergies.
I've been taking vitamin
with your
C. I've been
immune
taking
Yeah, but the allergies is not like a poor immune system.
crack
'cause it's not really a
cocaine. I've been
sickness.
taking
It's like,
every.
no, you're sensitive to pollen.
Yeah.
I've been taking every drug that I've got my hands on.
Okay.
So yeah,
No, I have
I'm gonna
been.
get. We need to go get some Robitussin.
Yeah,
stuff
let's
like
do that after
Just,
the podcast.
You know, some basic
Start
needs.
taking your Zyrtec or off-brand, whatever you
It's
take.
cetrazine.
Cetrazine?
Yeah, it's
Cetrazine.
the same active ingredient that's in Zyrtec.
Okay. I'm not going to get into this. I don't completely agree with you. Because I have had plenty of allergy medicines that were off-brand, never worked for me. However, name brand Zyrtec has been doing wonders.
And you know for sure it was cetrazine that you were taking.
Cetrazine? Whose off-brand is that?
It's just a.
Is it like CVS's off-brand? Is it
I don't know. It's just
Equate is
cheaper. It's not
Walmart.
that much cheaper. Josh said it's not that much.
It's not that much cheaper, but I will say this. I don't know if I agree with either of you, but I will agree with this statement. I buy, cheap, jeans that I can get damaged from, work or like
Yes.
just wear out.
Yes.
They're not expensive, then I can buy a new pair.
Mhm.
I swear, you know how many times my pants have split at work, just like right down the booty region, just
the booty region.
I swear, it's gotten to a problem like 5 or 6 times at this point. So I realized that the more expensive is going to last
you get
longer.
what you pay for, but also I am going to. I fall back on a doctor told me.
Okay.
The doctor said, just buy the cetrazine.
And it works for you fine.
Yeah.
All right.
She
That's
said,
all-
you
Is
can
this
get
like
the cetrazine, and it's
medical doctor
a
or like
medical
a-
doctor? Yes.
You'd be like a
a
doctor,
doctor
of
like history. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
I don't-
she told me. She said
Doctor of history.
the
I was thinking like Pastor David. I don't know if he's a doctor, but
I think Pastor David's a doctor.
the cheap brand cetrazine is the same stuff that Zyrtec is. It's going to do the same thing
that's
for
cool.
you. Yeah.
It's cool. I'm glad it works.
Mm.
I'm telling you, I don't know if it's specifically cetrazine, but all like the spectrum, Benadryls, other allergy medications from like Walmart. You get that Equate brand or the Walgreen, like Waltech or Walzec or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's never worked for me. And I worked at Walgreens, so I've tried it all.
I got a question since we brought it up. I want to back up 2 steps. A doctor, do you think it's a legitimate, they deserve the title of doctor if they have an honorary doctorate rather than actually like earning it?
Yeah, didn't Bill Cosby get an honorary doctorate?
No, like I swear we went to Kenzie's graduation.
Yeah. Somebody got an honorary
for
doctorate.
her. Well, the first, it wasn't for her master's. It was before that. But they said, you've been a professor at this college for so long. We're giving you a doctorate, essentially, just for working for so long.
So usually people that get honorary doctorates does have some form of higher education. So they have a master's level, or they spent time getting it but never finished, and then they worked in the professional sector for a long time.
Yeah.
I think yes, because usually people that get honorary doctorates have done the work of a doctorate 100 times over through their career.
As long as you've done the work. If you're getting an honorary doctorate for... It's like, because you're a famous person, and then
no, not at all.
No, you do not have to call them doctor.
No, and
I think if you've earned it, then you can be like, well, the title's actually doctor, so if you could call me Dr. So-and-so.
I don't think, okay,
Those
that's
people
rough.
I hate those people.
I feel like the person who doesn't deserve an honorary doctorate and got one are the same people that might be it's doctor.
It's doctor.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't know.
I don't think actual doctors are anal about their title.
It was like a professor I had. I said, Professor so-and-so, and he said, it's doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, all right, you teach music history, okay? Chill. You're a professor as well, so I wasn't wrong.
And you weren't trying to bring disrespect to the
you're
conversation.
working at the satellite campus of a low-tier college.
You think...
Ooh, burn.
Chill
Be like...
out.
Oh, you're a doctor.
Look, the weird thing is it's the group of us who we all have college education barely. You know what I'm saying? So we're speaking from the lower end, looking up at doctors and being like, screw you, doctors.
But we also...
However, we're also are normal humans.
No, I think we're education. I wouldn't say we've got a lot of it, but we've got
street smarts.
We got street smarts.
Well, no, I was gonna say like experience doing things.
Yeah,
a good bit of just doing things.
Well, that's my basis.
And look, it's
field knowledge.
I think you should give credit to the people that work hard for that title.
Yes.
It's like, that's Dr. So-and-so. Mm-hmm. But the people who are like, actually, it's doctor.
Actually.
When they do it, I mean, I don't know. Is there a less pretentious way to correct somebody? To correct somebody?
I don't think people should be correcting each other for something as trivial as a title that goes before your name.
Well, let's say a woman is a doctor, and she like a medical doctor, and she walks in a room and somebody says miss or nurse or something. How does she correct them? Because no, she's the doctor. She's the person here taking care of your medical needs, and she worked to do this.
Yeah,
worked hard. So.
I feel like this is like a midnight special topic.
Yeah,
but getting deeper than that, I think it's also kind of how someone identifies themselves.
Yeah,
because if they see, hey, Miss Johnson as a lower title, and they don't identify with that as a respectful term, then they're gonna be the ones to say, well, it's doctor. Well, you looking at my hair. You just look straight at my hair.
Looking at your hair.
Well, I need to say this, though. Usually a good quality doctor, professor, not medical doctor, will, like in the education sector, introduce themselves to students and professional colleagues as doctor.
Yeah.
Kenzie's previous director for her program at school, he introduced himself as Dr. Rowan. When he introduced himself to me at a function, he introduced himself with Andy.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? That's how it works. You know what I mean? She's a student, and they're in the professional sector, and she's working on a doctorate. To her, Dr. Rowan. To me, Mr. Andy.
Yeah.
Or Dr. Andy. Andy,
Yeah, see, I feel like,
hey, Andy, how's Buzz and Woody?
When you get into, that area where the title is more important, I feel like it's kind of up to the person to be aware. Just kind of maybe be aware a little bit and be respectful. Is it like, okay, this is the doctor, say doctor. And if they become more casual and introduce themselves as something else, that's fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, it can get a little bit pretentious.
This is kind of along the same lines. So the other day, I was talking to Wyatt about this, not saying that I feel like I have anything that makes me special or anything, but someone asked me a question, and I think it was because of my birthday coming up. And
Happy birthday, by the way. We're recording this on your birthday. Big 25. Crisis.
They said, how old are you? And I was like, I'm going to be 25. And they go, it's something, they're like, oh, you're so young and innocent. And I was like, you know,
Wait.
I've never been described as innocent. And I don't consider myself innocent, but like, I guess it's just because they don't know me as a person.
Yeah, when you get to know you, you start describing you as an a-hole.
Yeah. yeah.
People, I don't think I've ever been described as innocent.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been told innocent a lot.
Young and just like young.
Foolish?
Well, yeah, sure. Young and foolish. You haven't really experienced as much life as somebody. It's like, that's understandable. You're right.
I don't think everyone's experienced as much life. You know, everyone's life is trivial and different experiences.
I mean, I have been described as like, you know, like a killer.
The eye of the tiger.
Yeah, you have been. By strangers.
Some weird dude.
Some weirdo who goes into detail, man.
Yeah.
What a great... That's probably a legendary comment on this channel. I love it. Let's go ahead and move into the opener for the content that we've been getting to. Unplanned. This is going to be fantasy.
Yeah, apparently.
So we all brought different segments, which, by the way, just curious, how did you guys feel about bringing your own segment? So instead of planning it together?
It felt fine.
Felt fine to me too.
Yeah.
Maybe this might be a new thing.
I think it's definitely possibility, but I do like sitting down and planning.
Yeah. We have to sit down and plan things out, but maybe as far as so the planning doesn't take as long, or we just twiddle our thumbs.
Well, but this works.
It works,
and I think we found out that this works.
Yeah. So on we have
we'll see when the episode's done.
Right. Exactly.
We'll see when the episode's done.
Well, we got.
Calm down, Jamal.
We got 3 fantasy stories that we're going to be delving into. And we're going to start off by talking a little bit of House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah. So the new show that HBO is literally just finished production on. So they have a lot of post-production to finish up before this is released.
Yeah.
But it's being released this year. What are your guys' initial thoughts on House of the Dragon? Since we haven't talked about it at length here.
We talked about it some.
We did a reaction video, but
at this point, I am looking forward to House of the Dragon,
yeah,
more than Lord of the Rings, Ring of Powers, because I don't think Rings of Power is going to be very good.
Also, like, the writer of Game of Thrones is heavily involved with everything Game of Thrones right now.
And it's still HBO Max, still the same people.
Yeah, the stories of Westeros and Essos.
Or HBO, not HBO.
It's HBO.
Yeah, it's HBO.
Right. HBO, and it's quality control. We know that predominantly they made an awesome show out of Game of Thrones, and we don't have the same directors, but we have a lot of the same creators, and it's being overseen by the actual writer of the story.
And even all of the negative things and the shortcomings that came out of season 8 or 7? Seven and 8, yeah. Of the last seasons of Game of Thrones, it still felt Game of Thronesy.
Yeah.
People were upset because the storyline wasn't, and they didn't give them quite enough, I feel like. And
they rushed the ending of the story.
Yeah. But it still felt Game of Thrones.
It still had the aesthetic, and it still had the production, like the money.
I'm going to say this, as far as like awesome cinematic moments, season 7 and 8 have some of the best.
Some of the best, really good, just not enough story. And we've talked about that at length.
When Dany attacks Westeros, or King's Landing,
it's good.
Wild. My heart was in my throat the whole time. I was like, this is incredible, you know?
I want to see, because this is something I always enjoy, just me, from Lord of the Rings to Game of Thrones, whatever it is. I like these small music segments to be thrown in there. That's one of my favorite parts. Like when what's his name sang Jenny's song right before the battle.
Yeah.
Of
It's not about the rocks that I got.
Winterfell, the Battle of Winterfell. Yeah.
Used to have a little, now I got a lot. No, it wasn't Jenny from the block.
Josh was like, yeah, Jenny.
Jenny from the block.
I don't know that.
I don't even know who Jenny from the block is, but it's
J-Lo.
hilarious that you
J-Lo.
made a good joke.
Oh,
It's J-Lo. It's the J-Lo song.
Really?
Not a, yeah.
oh, yep, still white.
Gosh, you guys are way too white. Everybody knows Jenny from the block.
I know the term, but I don't know the song.
I'll
never
have
heard the
to
song.
educate y'all.
That's fine. That's fine. Look,
When I worked at
Yeah,
when I worked at the Chinese buffet on Sundays, there was a
instead
play,
of going
there
to
was
church, you were
I did go
listening.
to church. It was just in the evenings. The playlist was Jenny from the Block, or it was like Lionel Richie and
Oh, okay, I
old
know that
stuff,
name.
and like some Kenny G, but also Jenny from the Block was
I
in
definitely
there.
know Kenny G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some information out about House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Apparently on the blog for Martin's blog, he wrote a couple of days ago that there is going to be a novel,
Okay.
a
Yeah.
illustrated novel with like 180 illustrations, visual illustrations, pictures from some of the best artists in the world, he says.
Okay.
And there's going to be, and he released the covers for what it's called. It's
Very
going to be
cool.
called The Rise of the Dragon. So this is to go
So it's
along
gonna be a
with,
picture book.
Yes.
It's
It's an adult picture
It
book.
is, yes. It's an adult picture book. And
And knowing Martin, you're gonna be like,
yeah. Is there gonna be fold out pages? You know, you can fold them out like
So-
pop up pages of a dragon.
but look, that would be awesome.
a little pop up section,
It's like, oh my gosh.
little incest part pop up.
Warning sign on the front of the cover.
Graphic content. Look out!
Graphic pop-up content.
It's 3D.
You can check it out from multiple
The
angles.
pictures are coming right at me.
Oh,
Look, there's
I had a picture in my head that it would be. That's bad.
Okay, look, there's two. They released the covers for these books. The book is going to be called The Rise of the Dragon. This is the American U.S. release cover, and this is the UK cover.
Okay.
So
Why
they made
makes
a
it
little bit-
different? I like this one better, to be honest.
Just because artists are like, hey,
No,
I want to
like
do
that
multiple
one.
iterations.
I
and
like
it's coming
the
out.
dragon here. I like the colors here better.
Look, I went to
Who is
H&R Block last year.
stressful?
They've been texting me nonstop.
Dude,
H&R
you
Block, like in the middle of the
get your
night, they're like,
taxes
"You
done."
up?" H&R Block, you up?
He takes back. Maybe who dis?
New phone, who this?
New phone, who dis? Like H&RB. You're like Haley. You get your taxes done, boy.
He's like, "Yo, you get your taxes done." What kind of flirting is this? She wants to know if I'm fiscally responsible.
Hey, if you enjoyed that video that you just watched, that was the pre-show we record every week for the podcast. That's an exclusive video on Patreon. So if you want to watch that, go check out our Patreon. We got 3 different tiers that you can subscribe to. With each tier, you can get a little bit more exclusive content. Go check out the Patreon. Thanks for watching this video, and back to the podcast.
I've seen this before.
I love the scale textures here.
I've seen this kind of circle with the dragon scales behind it before on another book series, and so it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
I like this because it's not that.
Well, from someone who's not influenced by something else, I like this one better.
This feels cool.
Look, the dragon in this is awesome.
Yeah.
I think I prefer, like, I love the scale texture because it fills the frame better. But I love the artwork of this.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Okay, they do this with books all the time. why don't we? I know these are graphic designers, but what's up with the book cover graphic designers, man? The font choices are always trash.
Like George R. Martin, we know that's
know.
the font for him.
Yeah.
But what's up with this?
But
I'm
even
not a fan.
Like the font choices, the little, transition from a red to a white. Like these are adolescent graphic choices.
It's kind of...
Every book has it, though. I've never seen a book cover with awesome...
This font makes me think of... I know you're memeing on it, but when we did our movie posters and you had the dinosaur one, you were trying to meme this kind of like romantic drama.
Romance, yeah.
And that's what it feels like, this font.
The show, like, check this out. The show, awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Well, wait, go to the next slide. Go back.
What are you looking at?
Just the font difference between
there's a big font difference.
Not like a lot difference.
But if they had this kind of
they have designs here, but it's kind of the same.
But the font is fine. If they had the dark gold with the look, I mean, they kind of have it here, but it's not as metal looking.
I'm just saying.
They're very plain colored, but the font's not a lot different.
Okay, I'm just saying both of these book covers are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Minus the font choices. I would have spent a little more time on the font.
Yeah.
That's it. But I'm saying that's an issue across all books, not just these.
Can I just point out a little bit about, if you go back, the Targaryen symbol kind of has an Ouroboros look about it, of a snake consuming its tail.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, it would probably help if you bred outside your family a little bit.
Yeah. That might. I love the design.
The thing is, they tried to, remember, from Game of Thrones, and then sprung up Jon's a Targaryen also.
Right.
It's like, that was an accident.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was an attempt with Drogo.
Oops, all Targaryen.
He dies. Apparently, if you make love to a Targaryen, you might be dead.
You die. If you make love to Jon Snow, you die.
Look, so this is an illustrated novel that's going to be going along with the story, with the show House of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the illustrated history of the Targaryen dynasty, Volume 1. Insinuating multiple volumes.
Multiple volumes.
That will be coming. J.R. Martin.
Well, he does.
George R. R. Martin.
He's a storyteller. He writes.
He's got so much he talks about on his plate. He's got like 8 novels he hasn't written yet that he's just being like, yeah, they're gonna happen. I would, if I was him, I would start maybe eating keto and lifting a few weights here and there.
So he can.
I feel like he might die before he gets to all these books.
No, but that's the thing.
And I'm not being mean. I love his work and I love him.
That's why he's a good storyteller, though. It's because he sits around a fire with. I just imagine him with like a pipe or a cigar.
I'm worried.
Like,
okay.
Just
I'm worried he'll have a heart attack before he gets to write all these books.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people are going to hate me in the comments for this, but the man is not healthy.
Yeah.
And I want to hear his stories.
I got a question for you guys. Who's your top three people you'd sit around a fire telling stories with?
I wish it would be. I'd love to just hear Tolkien talk.
Okay. So Tolkien.
I'd love to hear the way he would tell a story. Probably Bert Kreischer. And then Olin Rogers.
I was actually going to say Olin Rogers.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear Tolkien, but from and of course, Brandon Sanderson.
Brandon Sanderson.
I want to talk. I want to talk to Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah. Joshua,
just get real nerdy.
Your lineup's pretty
I'm gonna change
good.
mine. I want to change mine. I need to. Since you take Olin, I'm gonna remove Olin, and I'm gonna say Christopher Nolan.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would probably.
Well, since you changed yours, I'm gonna change mine.
No, I gave you Olin.
Say something like Steven Spielberg, throw it in there, but pretty much the same.
Steven, yeah.
So someone who's like pretty old that has a lot of stories in the filmmaking world or in this just storytelling.
Yeah.
World.
There's
I feel
so
like would
many
be fun.
people I think would be real fun to just sit there and
Clint
talk
Eastwood would be fun. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe
not right
I wouldn't
now.
be able to tell if he was upset with me or not. I'd be like, I might say a joke and he'll be like,
He'd be like,
You're like, you trying to laugh, Clint?
I don't
Or
know.
are you about to lose it?
I don't know about all this high fantasy stuff.
Yeah, he's probably like, boy, why are you playing so much video games?
Yeah, what's up with the...
Have you fellas seen Crime Machio?
Yeah,
It's my
this
latest
doesn't feel
film.
grounded and real and
A lot of
dirty.
people hated me for American Sniper, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Look, so are you guys on a scale of 1 to 10? How excited are you for House of the Dragon? Because there's rumors going around 7.5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.
I'm at a straight 8
Oh, yeah?
because I'm very excited. Now, I've seen the actors in the cast that's going to be in this film. I've seen a few of their works.
Mhm.
So I'm expecting the acting to be on point. I'm always nervous going into a new show being like, I have to reorient myself with new characters.
Yeah.
But after the first couple episodes, you're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got it. It's in the bag. So I'm at an 8. I think the story is going to be awesome. I think the quality control on this show is going to be a lot better than the end of Game of Thrones that we saw. And I think it's going to be a fun fantasy ride.
Yeah.
And it's rumored around the internet because that this could be coming out in August.
Okay.
That is unconfirmed by HBO, and with the amount of
book,
post-production,
not the show.
The show.
I thought it was September.
No, they haven't released or confirmed any date yet. I'm telling you, they haven't. I just read an article this morning. But it's rumored August that it could be premiering. The reason why is there seems to have been some kind of leaked information that was alluding to the idea of an August premiere. But I would be willing to push that back to like September, October, maybe even November because of how much post-production they're saying they have left on this show. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't get your hopes up too high, but maybe August.
Rings of Power this September.
Yeah. So all around, I'm looking forward to
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a fun ride. So the next thing we're going to get into that's fantasy actually happens to be diving into the world of Middle Earth. But before we do that, thank you, Karina.
Thank you,
for
Karina.
being a patron
Teased.
supporter. What?
Teased.
Yeah, I did give a tease. I'm a teaser.
Karina. Didn't we, Karina? Who did we do last time?
Shelby.
Cynthia's up next. We'll just give a quick shout out to Cynthia also.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cynthia and Karina.
No, this is Karina's
Spotlight.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karina.
We are appreciating her right now.
Thank you for being a patron supporter. We love you. Also, if you would enjoy getting a shout out and or your name's in the credits.
Check out the
And
Patreon.
at this point, and shout out and names in the credits at the end of the podcast episodes. Go over to Patreon, links in the description. Select a tier that best fits your content needs. Thank you.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take it away, my brother.
So, the scariest cartoon I have ever seen on this planet that has fogged me and been in my nightmares for years upon years
Yeah.
has been, I don't know who even did it, the Lord of the Rings cartoon that was made way back when, like 80s or 90s.
Dang it.
You know,
Those
does give you
creepy
nightmares.
Troll looking for hobbits.
Even the hobbits that are supposed to be fun-loving characters just look scary to me.
Because they are, like,
They look
half the
weird.
stuff is rotoscoped over real people.
I don't like
and
it.
It looks bad.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great for the time.
No,
I remember when I was a wee little
time.
crouton boy, they
No, it
just those
No
that
budget.
orcs gave me nightmares upon nightmares. It scared
It was bad. Because
It was Gollum for me, by the way.
the guy who did the guy who did The Hobbit next, the other animated one, it's actually animated.
Yeah.
And looks like an actual animated movie.
Okay.
And it's way better than the first.
Go to your first slide. You better have to do what I'm thinking is first slide. The
don't have
post.
I think it's the post.
Facebook
yeah.
post. Okay. So Peter
Hey,
Jackson.
don't come at me with a you better.
You
You're not in
better.
charge of me.
You
Okay, you. Come on, get your thought out.
Now you threw me off. What was I gonna say? Peter Jackson on February 14th. I know it's been a month or so now, but teased with this post on Facebook, with this article saying that in April 2024, it's in production right now, they are going to be making a Lord of the Rings show that's going to be kind of 2 years before what we think of as the Lord of the Rings timeline.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the War of the Rohirrim.
Rohirrim.
Wait,
Wait,
well, I can't.
He can't say
it's going to be 2 years before Lord of the Rings?
No, 200.
200. Okay,
200
you said
years
2.
before.
The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
This is the.
well,
this is
I don't
the-
know about the Hobbit.
Hold
It's
on,
probably
let me-
like 100. It's probably
All right.
like.
The
How long
Untold.
did Bilbo have the ring?
60 years.
It's
50.
probably like 100, 250 at this point.
60.
Probably.
It was before.
Or I don't know. Something
I think
like
it was
that.
before Frodo was born, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Frodo was 50 when he got the ring.
It's going to be generally in that timeline.
Yeah.
Before
No,
300.
he
Let's
was
just say
30.
that.
He had the ring for like a couple decades before
Yeah,
the
it's-
events of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. The untold story behind Helm's Deep, hundreds of years before the fatal war
Telling
from
of
the
the
Two
life
Towers,
and-
telling of the life of the blood-soaking times of its founder, Helm Hammerhand, the king
Very
of
cool.
Rohan.
Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be
excited
this
about that.
Riders of Rohan.
Hammerhand.
But it's not live action. So
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
it's animated.
It's anime.
It's anime,
Anime.
which,
Yeah.
I mean, cool.
Done by, and I know we haven't talked about this at all, but you haven't been a fan of this. Of the Blade Runner show that came out
Yeah, Blade Runner Black Lotus came
Kenji
out
on HBO Max.
on HBO Max. It looks like a video game cutscenes.
Yeah.
I wasn't huge on it. Now, granted, that's not, I don't think that was really anime.
Okay.
If this is an actual like anime animation and not like a 3D thing, I would be like super excited.
So the director, could you say his last name?
Kenji Kamiyama?
Kenji Kamiyama.
Kamiyama.
Kamiyama. Kenji. He's the director, and he's the one who also created the Black Lotus and all those. So as far as it seems like they started pre-production on the. It was either production or pre-production back in June of last year.
Okay.
So theirs isn't coming out till April of next year. This is a long period of time.
2024, not next year.
Oh, 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. So we've got a lot.
3
of time.
years of work.
I mean, it's animation. It takes a while to animate stuff.
If they're putting like a lot of effort into this,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could be really excited for an animation like this.
Yeah, I think across the board, the amount of time they're giving themselves, this should be well thought through.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to preface, I haven't seen Blade Runner Black Lotus. I don't know how the story goes. It could be a great story, and I have no idea. But I didn't watch it.
You know
based
they've
on
already
the
clicked off
animation.
at this point and canceled you for saying that it wasn't good.
Look, I'm not saying it wasn't good. I'm just saying I didn't like the way the animation looked, and it didn't prompt me to watch the show.
It
Yeah,
might have been
maybe
really
I'll-
low budget.
Maybe I'll go and a lot of the visuals looked really good.
Yeah.
The people didn't look so great.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go watch, an episode or two and come back and tell you.
We have to, before this comes out, at
Yeah.
least watch a few things that this director, Kenji, has done.
Yeah.
Apparently there are creators from the original 8 Jackson films. Or
Okay.
6 Jackson films, not 8. For like the art
I think
department.
it's the Jackson 5 is what you're trying to say.
That's right. The Jackson 5
Yeah,
original
that's why
creators.
I'm
art department.
confused. What do you mean by Jackson?
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson,
Oh.
6 films from Middle Earth.
Oh, okay. I was thinking what you said.
You were thinking the Jackson 5.
And I'm like, wait, what?
We're talking about
give me
PD.
one more chance.
Show you that I love you. Won't you, please?
Okay, we don't want to get.
We
we
don't
don't want-
sing good enough to get copyright.
Okay, I'm just
YouTube
saying.
don't know what we're saying.
YouTube's algorithms are crazy. It's like Skynet. Okay,
YouTube don't know.
it's like Skynet.
Apparently.
I don't think it's technically a copyright issue to sing during a podcast someone else's song.
Who? I don't even know.
We're not
who would
playing
own
their
the rights
music?
to Jackson 5 at this point.
Well,
Probably somebody.
obviously the Jackson family.
Probably a production studio.
No, yeah, it's got to be a studio. It's
I don't
not
know.
a family.
I'm
at this
just,
point.
I don't want to get claimed.
Yeah, we want to know who gets paid when.
Maybe hitting those
Yeah,
sick,
we need to know-
riffs.
We need to know who to send the check to. So, so
We gotta
please
cut-
let us in the comments. Let us
We're
know
gonna
who
cut you
owns
that
the
ch-
royalties.
that
check.
check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cut you that check for accidentally singing your song, bro.
So, I guess we can't really do a huge scale 1 to 10. The excitement for this show.
Well,
I had an idea.
This is just concept art. It's not giving us enough.
I had an idea comparing. So at the end of this year, we're gonna get something that could surprise us. Most likely, be a detriment to the story of Tolkien's writings.
Ooh,
that's what the internet believes.
Well, but no, not
power.
necessarily, because this is not going to be done by Prime. It's not going to be done by Amazon.
He's saying Rings of Power.
I know, but this is not going to be done.
You're
by
jumping
Amazon.
ahead on my thoughts.
Okay.
You're assuming I'm going to compare these two.
Okay.
I'm simply talking about the Rings of Power.
Huh?
So, what I am hoping from this is that this will be a palate cleanser for the letdown we are anticipating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if it's not a palate cleanser, well, we're going to have two problems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As far as the Rings of Power coming out, because we've dabbled on the Rings of Power in the podcast, and we've dabbled in personal lives.
Mm-hmm.
What at this point, after seeing all the memes, after hearing everybody's comments, what are we thinking about the Rings of Power?
And basically what people are saying, I think it's going to be
you can't, don't. I want your thoughts. Don't piggyback on what you've heard other people
I'm
say.
not piggyback, but I do think of just seeing what the characters look like and everything like that, that they're doing this cultural thing of, we want to, it's not wrong to, diversify the cast, but if they are only doing that to please the audience, or to please this kind of...
Well, they're pleasing a narrative.
Yeah.
And Hollywood is built
the character
around.
Doesn't fit the
original story.
The story, then it's doing a disservice to the story.
Well, the problem... apparently, the section of story is very limited that they're telling. So they're actually telling a huge story that's not even canon.
Right.
That's what they're doing with the show. So they have the freedom... to do whatever they want. Include, because they're the only there's a couple. So you got what's the man from Rivendell? I'm spacing on his name. You got Galadriel, and then the Rivendell Lord. Joshua, help me out.
Rivendell?
The
Elrond?
Lord Elrond, yes.
Yeah.
So we know Elrond's going to be in it. We know Galadriel is kind of the female lead.
Yeah.
I think Elrond is the male lead for this show coming out. And I'm not hating on, a lot of people are like, oh, the casting choices for them are crazy bad. I don't really dislike it.
Right.
I don't think the casting choice is wrong. I think actually I could see a similarity between Jackson's Elrond and this show's, like a younger version. They made him blonde, which is different.
I don't know. Maybe
like a dirty
elves,
blonde.
Maybe their hair color changes.
Yeah.
as
Oh
they
yeah,
grow old.
that.
I mean,
just,
after 1,000 years,
a difference.
Yeah.
it goes from blonde to...
Yeah.
Generations change eventually as they get close to death. They become redheads.
Well, was that your?
I was just gonna say, there's a lot of things I'm not upset about that I
Right.
see upset comments for
Okay.
online about the rings of power, essentially. But there are issues, and the biggest issue I'm saying is they're creating story that doesn't exist.
I'm going to say that for me, we saw with the Wheel of Time how excited everybody was for, and then how much after it came out, people were like, "This is such a great show." We were seeing that from people.
Well, just a few.
We were seeing people vehemently defending the show, and there wasn't any people looking at the trailers and being like, "This is bad. This is really bad."
There was
not as much as this, or not this, but Rings of Power.
Oh yeah, not as much as Rings of Power, but in the fan groups for Wheel of Time,
fan groups,
there was a lot of controversy.
I'm gonna say that just because fans are saying it looks bad doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be bad, but also it could very easily be bad.
So the thing that I don't entirely understand from a couple of the big
For the Rings of Power?
the meme Rings of Power issues,
Okay.
right? So the female dwarf,
Okay.
she don't have a beard.
Yeah.
People are upset. And I think people are also upset that she's black. They just don't want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't have an issue that
she doesn't have a beard. That's why people are upset.
I don't have an issue with the race if that is a narrative, and people might leave a comment and be like, that's not the issue. She doesn't have a beard. It's not specific to canon, whatever. I don't care. I don't care that she's black if that's not the issue.
Yeah,
that's
maybe we just haven't seen any.
See,
black
all dwarves
so
are
far.
white.
I don't think they were necessarily always specified
Yeah,
in the writings of Tolkien, and I don't think
well, I think
Tolkien would be like, yeah, no black people are allowed in my story.
I think Tolkien wrote the story from in a European fantasy world as a So if you look back on history in Europe, it was all white people.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Almost entirely.
Yeah.
Almost
kind of.
Entirely white people.
Don't ask this guy. He's spitting facts you don't know about.
Don't listen.
He's spitting facts.
Listen. If you go back a couple hundred years, Europe and England was almost all white people. And if you go back even further, it was white people.
Yeah.
There's a
there was black people there. They were just in custody.
In custody, yeah. The mixing of races didn't start happening until recently in human history.
Yeah.
We didn't have a diverse cast of characters on our
radar,
on our adventures back in medieval times. It was all white dudes, And in the European areas.
Yeah.
And this is a European fantasy story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not to say that there weren't any, other races. It's just
I can't speak for Tolkien,
mm-hmm.
but when it comes to the race issue inside of his story, I would assume that's not an issue.
Yeah.
For him personally. This is what my gut says, okay? I don't think he has a lot of things to say. I think it was like in letter 221 or something
mm-hmm.
like that about adaptations of his story. That was extensive. He was very brutal. He was very picky. And I don't think race would be on that list.
Yeah.
Well, but maybe the bearded part would be.
Yeah, the bearded part.
The bearded part might be.
He's like, oh, look, diversification. That's really wonderful.
Where's her facial?
She didn't have a beard. Canonically, they have a beard.
They have a beard.
What is this?
Well,
Tolkien is typing.
Rings of Power aside, what do you think about the War of Rohirrim?
Look, I'm excited to see the horn of Helm Hammerhand sound in the deep for the first time. Yeah. I'm really excited to see that.
So you think
That's
they're going to be
exciting.
they're going to have a big moment from that? You believe?
Yeah, they gotta.
But
hey,
it's all. Can you see them? Can you see them
anime
going through like a several year montage of building Helm's Deep and the giant horn, and then somebody being like,
yeah.
Oh man!
Like this giant speech. Okay, give us the speech. Kind of ad lib. I know we don't know what's gonna be in the show, but give me a real quick speech of the horn going for the first time, and I'm gonna blow his horn right quick. Okay.
I don't
just
start with
always start with
deep
Riders
in the
of
land.
yeah.
Just start with like deep in the heart.
There's
of
a giant
Rohan.
battle about to happen, and we're
Yeah.
gonna be blowing the horn. Okay, I'm gonna get ready for a horn.
Oh, just elaborate on the purpose and the reason why we need a keep like Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
All right, and then Joshua will sound off a horn, I guess.
I think he's thinking, give a speech to the men
To the men that's about to go into
that
battle.
are about to go into battle.
So then we can blow
lot
the
of
horn.
histories.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Riders of Rohan,
Okay.
we gather here at this freshly erected keep
Okay.
for the purpose of preservation.
This is
all right,
not
Abraham
very.
Lincoln.
For the purpose
Yeah,
of I
you're not
would
trying
be
to get
a
elected,
great
John.
Abraham Lincoln. I think I would do a great role.
You're not
as
trying to get
Abraham.
elected.
No,
You're
I
trying to
think-
fight.
I think
A battle of-
I think it would be more like
Riders of
I think it would be more like soldiers of Rohan.
soldiers of Rohan.
We cannot fail.
No,
we cannot
I've got
fall. We will not die. Stuff like that.
No, I've got you here. Okay. Riders of Rohan, we have united in building this structure once. We can reunite again to defeat this army.
I don't think they'd be like, Riders of Rohan, we have constructed this Helms of the Deep.
We can never repay the hard work of the people of Rohan, but we will go on.
We are going to be in debt.
This keep is for you.
No, that's why they're all peasants.
For your children. For our generations to come.
We're going to live on.
We're
going to survive. The day we celebrate our Independence Day.
A Rohirrim holiday.
What is
We tried.
well, at least get the horn out. Oh, let's do a multiple thing. So Joshua will hit the higher frequencies.
I don't know if I can go high at this point.
And I'll hit the lows, all right?
I'm not going to do this because I realize on camera it kind of looks like I'm...
All right. Wait, hit a higher note.
No, we're not a choir. A horn would be like,
I can't at this point. I can't hit that octave. I can't hit that octave right now.
Come on now. Give us a go.
I can't
All right,
hit that
I'll
note
do the
right
highs.
now.
I'll hit the highs. Here we go. I'm getting the airiness.
I don't know what you're
I'm getting that higher frequency airiness in there.
Why you gotta...
It helps. Hear me out.
Let's move on.
I'm done with this speech. I don't want the speech anymore.
All right. We're going to look forward to the anime coming out in a heck of a long time.
Yeah.
2+
we're
years.
just we're getting ahead of the curve.
Yeah, we're going to grab that trend way before it trends. All right? Thank you guys for sitting through that horn speech.
Right, or skipped through.
Or just double tapped a few times.
Yeah.
Either way, we're going to move on to
It's
our
like
third.
we're doing speeches and they skip forward and Joseph's like...
They're like, what is
like,
this?
That took a weird turn.
Yeah.
I was trying to do the high frequencies. It's logical. All right?
Hey, if you need copyright-free music for your video needs, for film projects or anything like that, go check out Soundstripe. That's what we use for our videos, for our project that we do for films. They have copyright-free music. So if that sounds like something that you would use, check out down in the description below and use our link. And if you would, use WiseWorks10 at checkout. Back to the podcast.
We're going to go to Wyatt's point of conversation, which you actually have to educate me on a little bit.
Okay.
Because you know a lot more about this man and this body of work than me or Joshua. Okay. The first thing is Brandon Sanderson.
So this was March 2nd that this came out. So on Tuesday, Sanderson launched a Kickstarter to fund the 4 novels that he secretly wrote over the past 2 years. The campaign, surprise, 4 secret novels by Brandon Sanderson, run by his parent company, Dragonsteel Entertainment, brought in more than $15 million in its first day and broke every Kickstarter record ever when it reached like $37 million, almost $40 million for this project.
But the real question, did he break? You know, I saw Mr. Beast do something about the trees and... did it break his record?
I don't know. And where are those trees?
I want to play it back.
Yeah, I haven't seen any footage.
Wyatt's real skeptical.
I haven't
seen
any footage of it.
Yeah.
Just kind of breezed on right through after he collected all those dollars.
I mean, we got a nice video on the games.
Right. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
But so ultimately, within the first week, broke all the records, and a lot of people are upset.
Yeah.
Why?
Because this is somebody who is making a ton of money, and that makes people upset. Because he's making a lot of money and they're not.
Okay.
So they're like, well, he's an already established, rich fantasy novel writer.
People knew that he was getting his money.
He's not the only one getting paid for this, though.
He's already established.
He's not even getting paid for this. Oh, he probably will get maybe some of the money. It's more of
this money is
Dragonsteel Entertainment.
Yeah, it's to
it's his
fund.
company.
It's
But
to make
he's
the
got
books
people.
to give to
Yeah,
people.
this is
books.
for shipping. This is for production. But it's also he already has money and he already is famous because people like his stuff. Yeah. He's already written a ton of fantasy stuff that people love and have made him a lot of money, and he has the ability to do something like this.
What's wrong if fans want to pay him a lot of money? This is also...
Well, it's not the fans want to pay him a lot of money. It's fans want to pay money for stuff that they love.
Yes.
We know that.
Look, but this is also 2 years of work.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a Kickstarter. He did the work with no promise of this money.
Right. He did, with no promise of anything.
He just did
In fact, he
wrote
says,
4 novels.
He says in the videos, like, these were books that I wrote for myself. I've always kind of wanted to write, kind of separate books that I just enjoy, and I never had the time to do so because traveling, writing books for Mistborn or Stormlight Archive, and just not being able to kind of write some stuff that I like. And so he wrote these for his wife.
Absolutely.
There's also people upset that he's making this much money. There's like a race
issue.
Yeah, well, he's straight and he's white.
He also did the work.
Yeah, but the man put in the work. He,
it's not a factor.
Yeah.
If you say that, you're dumb.
That's kind of a weird point for people to make. Also, it's like in the long run, 37 million for 4 books isn't all that much money. There are people that are, given 50 million for the release of like a trilogy almost up front.
Yeah.
And so 37 million is not all that much, and he's having to do all of this work with his company, with
his own
Dragonsteel
publishing
Entertainment.
company.
He's having to do all of the work himself. He doesn't have like the company he usually works with, Tor. He doesn't have them to help him with the production, with the sale, with all that.
Exactly.
He's doing all the packaging and everything.
Imagine how many pieces of equipment that's expensive he has to do to run a company that's doing the publishing for him.
Yeah.
Imagine all of the manpower he needs to pay. 15 million is going to be spent real quick.
And
it will.
Yeah, and this
you're not thinking about it.
No, I'm thinking that it's gonna be spent.
Production for a publishing company. That's why people don't do publishing companies all the time. They're expensive.
They are expensive.
15 million is gonna go towards the company like that. It's not going to stick around long.
I don't think he's going to do a bad job in the releasing of the books. I mean, he's been doing like this kind of stuff, kind of in leading his company for a while now. But this came on the heels of him releasing a video on YouTube. We can go ahead and hit that slide if you want. Just releasing his video, telling kind of what it's about, where it is, the in the Cosmere, I guess. If you guys don't know what the Cosmere is, it's his extended universe. I didn't know that these were in the Cosmere. So I'm really interested. I think I've read most of the Cosmere stuff by now.
Except for these. So I want to hear your thoughts because you showed me this video. But he just dropped this video out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts, kind of how he opens.
I don't know that this is the exact video.
It's probably not. But he did drop a video on Instagram, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Where he just let people know this was happening.
So the video was titled like, I Have Lied to You. And so I clicked it. I'm like, oh no, not one of my favorite authors. And
another one bit the dust.
He goes, I've been lying to you. And
I'm not a real writer.
During the pandemic, I wrote this book. Boom. And he puts out like this massive thing of pages. And then by the end of the video, he's like, I've written 4 secret novels.
He just keeps laying down this stack of paper.
Yeah, throwing out stack
Here's
after
another
stack.
book.
Here's another one.
And then another one.
Another one.
He's better at that than DJ
Another
Khaled.
one. And so, yeah, it was really cool. And I was like, all right, so what is he going to do with these books? And then he started the Kickstarter. My question for you guys, what do you think of artists and writers, doesn't matter kind of where you are in this creative world, whether it be with animation, TV shows, movies, books, of self-publishing type stuff, especially like this is setting a new precedent.
It absolutely is. I mean, it's adding to the precedence that's already
taking place.
I mean, I don't
sit up at the mic, Joshua. Way too far away.
I don't know.
Stop.
I don't know when. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Production and film is different than books, but there's so many actors that will act in something and then start getting money and then decide to make their own production company and put out their own stuff. We're seeing that now with Ryan Reynolds with the Adam Project. I know there was another company that
worked with him,
but it was
Maximum Effort's working on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and so
and Netflix, of course.
We have seen this narrative of people starting to do their own company, started to get away from the big names,
because it seems like
Illuminatis.
Yeah, it seems like we're getting that. What's the Chosen is doing their they're crowdfunding all of their episodes.
Yeah, it's all fan funded. Angel Studios is helping distribute, but the actual funding of production is all fans.
Yeah,
that's it, through their app.
And and I understand, like some people were saying the other controversy was that this project is taking eyes away from the people on Kickstarter who are self-publishing their books. He's taking eyes away from people who are self-publishing, smaller writers who are self-publishing on Kickstarter. And I think he understood that, and he saw that, and he turned around and said, you're right. We'll put some of this money towards funding our like writers who are on Kickstarter. And so they went and they sifted through like things that weren't like adult content and things that weren't just like copycat stuff, and they just found
good writers.
It's like I think 300 some writers, and
give them some money.
Started funding some of their projects.
I take huge issue with this.
Oh yeah,
with with people being
the writers on Kickstarter and Brandon Sanderson.
Right.
No fault. Actually, I applaud them.
Yeah.
Anybody who's saying that he personally is in the wrong because people like his work and want to pay for it are idiotic. And then to say they're taking money away from other writers, that's wrong. Now he didn't freak out, and he's like, okay, I'll help fund writers that I think are doing a good job also, which is just adding to the layers of how good of a person he is.
Right.
Oh. But everybody's are getting up in arms about him. He's not doing anything wrong.
No, he's not doing anything wrong.
The fans are not doing anything wrong by paying him a good amount of money. Also, think about this. He's written stories that's created a cult following.
People
People love his work. He deserves to receive the money in accordance with how he's benefited people.
And people,
he's not taking money from
he's also pushing the idea that if you're a writer, get on Kickstarter, get on Indiegogo or whatever you're using, some crowdfunding website, because it can be done. And he's also pushing people to be like, there are writers on these platforms that you can go fund.
Yeah.
And they're going to be producing books.
But freaking saying that is like saying we need to cancel or be upset at Joe Rogan because he hasn't shouted out our podcast, and we deserve a shout out.
We deserve a shout out. We're doing the same thing.
We're not. The thing is, we are both doing podcasts.
The fans of his show. The fact that they're all watching his show instead of ours. That's taken away.
He's done the work. He's lived longer than us.
Yeah,
he's put in the work for the audience.
Yeah,
he's done He's done over 1,500 episodes.
Yeah.
We don't deserve his fans right now. We are working on deserving a fandom down the road.
Yeah.
You don't automatically deserve something just because someone else did it. And he's not hurting Kickstarter authors. He's helping the concept of kickstarting authors. That's wild. People are nuts.
Self-publishing in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The precedent that you were talking about earlier. This is a huge precedent for the self-publishing world because we've already seen it with other things like you said. But this is huge. I mean, me personally, I've talked about this ad nauseum. I think that the future of any kind of employment is going to look like everybody's a freelancer most of the time, you know? And then there's going to be smaller to big size companies that help people along the journey, like apps that help people with scheduling their freelance work, Kickstarter companies that help the distribution of money for creators. There's going to be bigger businesses like that. But pretty much across the board in the working sector, it's not going to be, I'm an employee of this company. It's going to say, I do freelance work for this company and this company and this company. And it allows people to almost see themselves, and they will be, as self-starters, entrepreneurial ideas. That's kind of the future of employment across the board. And there's going to be issues with that as far as benefits and all that. However, this is huge. It's super important for someone to be able to make a living and do what they love and change the way in which they are being funded, because a company at its core, although I am entrepreneurial,
keep going.
Yeah, you're going.
You're on a tangent
at this
Keep
point.
going. I don't want to interrupt. Get your thought out.
I'm just saying there is a cap to a lot of people at a regular business style, which wasn't wrong for the starting of America or even up to modern day. It actually is a good thing. However, the flow of money is changing. The internet is changing, and we can't still operate on this system necessarily.
What about go back to the barter system? We want a goat for doing this podcast.
A what?
You know, we want
goat?
like someone to pay us a goat for, because we're doing
I'm
the
not
barter system.
against a barter type system.
barter.
But I'd rather have. I'd rather be able to buy my own goat.
Yeah.
Because then I get to choose it.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like because of this precedent, I gotta throw a little bit of shade at Patrick Rothfuss.
Okay.
Oh, no, not Patrick.
You guys don't know.
Not Patrick.
What has Patrick done?
So
Who
Patrick
he is?
Rothfuss wrote the first two books in his trilogy, The Kingkiller Chronicles.
Okay.
And they were both hot books.
That's hot.
Big fantasy. Yeah, everybody loved them 10 years ago.
Oh.
Where's the third one, Pat?
Well, see, we learned
Where's the
from
third one?
James Cameron that
No.
takes a while to get that avatar.
Look, and it often authors will, there will be 10 years, 8 years between, big fantasy books. We know that with a lot of high fantasy authors. But this is, the 4 books, 4 novels. We're not talking little bitty boys. This man wrote 4 books.
We're not talking about a Hardy Boys
Give
style.
us The Doors of Stone now. Right now would be a great time to release it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype around these books.
You might get 50 million on Kickstarter.
Right now would be a great time to be like, Doors of Stone is coming out. I don't know why all fantasy authors kind of sound a little bit like this.
Well, because they look like that guy.
Well, he kind of sounds a little bit like
I feel like I could be really good friends with Brandon.
I feel like
Look at that shirt.
Yeah, he's wearing the blazer and the dragon t-shirt.
I love it.
I love it.
And there's some kind of cred
He's also
down
a professor. He also
Professor?
Look at that stick. He's got a pointer.
Look at the drip.
He's got some.
he did he in the video. And then
Probably.
I would appreciate it if
Wait. What's
people
that
who
saying?
are creating
Backup Warbreaker.
Warbreaker.
Oh, a box set. Okay.
Okay. I gotta throw some shade
I
at.
was just curious.
All right, the videographers, because everything is moving to video. If you are gonna put a message out there, it's gonna be through video. Right now, everyone's like, "Oh, the phone, I could do self video." We're gonna go back into this idea of like, there's a standard for how video should look.
yeah.
We're still in the early stages of the internet, so there's not really a standard. People can just put out whatever, and if people like them,
I would say we're
they'll
early
watch.
the internet, but
We are early.
We're
in the
early
state
in
of
the internet, but it's well established.
it's established, but we are very early. Okay, I'm saying this kind of camera work cannot continue.
This is his personal YouTube.
yeah, he's a writer, not a
He's a
filmmaker.
professor.
Who are we gonna? You don't think he had some film student help him out with this?
Maybe. No, I don't
No,
think so.
probably not.
I don't give a crap. This should be unacceptable.
He's just detailing what he's doing for his book.
That's the idea that I'm talking about is the wrong idea. Someone like Brandon Sanderson should at least be able to get a cameraman who's going to put the camera at eye level to not accent that double chin as much.
He's like, I don't have time for this.
He looks like he's doing this, which he is because the camera's looking up at him. Stop it.
I don't have time for this. I've got books to write. Just throw up a video.
Yeah.
No, dude. Freaking make the camera at least eye level. If you want it to be a
Okay.
little.
Give Sanderson a call. Give him a call.
Maybe.
Give him an email and say,
It
look,
accents his belly too much, too.
just give him a call. Give him an email and say, hey, if you want to, I don't know, fly me out to where you are.
Look, I'll be a part
And-
of your secret online production company team. Just,
And
I'll take $5,000 a week. Because I saw that Kickstarter money, bro.
Kickstarter money, bro.
And I'll make your videos look hot.
Just
okay?
be like, I'll be a consultant.
sound
I'll come
quality
out there.
will be really good.
I'll set up your camera. I'll teach some, show somebody how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give him a call. He'll probably answer.
I wonder do you
He
know his
might.
phone number?
I don't know his phone number.
You want to try to find it real quick?
Wait, why
No.
would you? Phone
that would
number?
be
I
so
feel
much
like you would
fun.
need to email him.
Yeah, email.
What if we just gave him a call and be like, dude, you are not going to believe this.
Nah,
I'm talking about you on the
nah,
podcast.
I don't
Let's move to the next slide. Just the kind of the book covers.
Book
Okay.
covers.
know. Ooh.
Let's talk about these book covers versus
The other ones? Yeah, I like
the,
these.
or like the ones we saw.
Yeah.
earlier.
I like these.
What do you think?
I like them.
I think Brandon Sanderson needs to be smaller.
I mean,
It looks more graphically pleasing. I don't mind the font choice. I don't mind it. I mean, it looks
I
like a
like-
good book.
I like how
What-
simple.
There are issues, but
I like how
Mm.
simple it looks.
let
There's
me
not a
ask this
ton of
though:
words
what
on
age
this.
range is this for?
I have no idea.
what is
young
he
teen?
What's his typical writing?
Is it
age
like
range?
young teen?
He has books for all ages,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know. He said
It
he,
looks like a young teen.
he said
like
he wrote
teen.
this for his wife, or started it for his
Yeah.
wife at least. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen anything that explicitly says that it's a young adult series.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't gotten into them.
Mhm.
So I really like the colors on Secret Project 3.
Yeah, the colors are
pinks.
fun.
Secret Project 4 looks cool too.
I really like Secret Project 4. I don't like the font design in this. It's
Yeah.
bleeding too much. There's too much happening with this, like that inner yellow.
What is he
color,
holding?
that
It's like a
border
light
that they
ball.
put on there.
Or
It's probably a power orb.
Something. Yeah. Sanderson's magic systems are pretty insane.
Complex.
Very or simple.
Simple. That's the beauty of it.
Usually hard magic systems. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna talk about.
Could you
that.
briefly describe the magic system?
It means a hard magic system means it has hard, fast rules for what's going to happen and how it works.
Yeah,
Soft
yeah.
magic is what you see in Lord of the Rings.
Which it's all ethereal.
It's ethereal.
And it left up for interpretation.
Ethereal?
When Gandalf lights up his staff, you don't know what's going to happen. Is
Yeah,
he going
yeah.
to
And
move
you don't-
something?
yeah.
Is he going to shine a light? Is something going to crack or break?
Is
We
he
don't
gonna
know.
pull the out
Harry
of the
Potter's
King of
hard-
Rohan?
Harry Potter's hard magic because there's spells for specific things, right? Is Harry Potter hard magic?
I don't
know.
Because everything's specified through a spell
No.
verbally.
Not necessarily.
It's not.
Yeah,
really.
abracadabra. That's a death spell.
Yeah, but they got like plants
Yeah, but
that
also,
be screaming
also
and
they
whatnot.
can do that spell non-verbally.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So
They
it's a
can-
middle ground.
And they can do magic without their wands.
That's true. Well, they have to have an item usually.
It's more or less soft magic system.
okay. Soft magic.
Yeah.
More. It leans towards soft. Can be hard at times.
Yeah.
Gotcha. His is hard magic.
Usually, I don't know what these books are.
Any final thoughts for Brandon Sanderson? I love the man.
You met him like 5 minutes ago.
No, he's been telling me about Brandon
I know,
Sanderson
I talk
for a
about
year
Sanderson a lot.
plus.
I mean, you haven't officially met him, but
I have.
It,
I called him the other day.
it was funny though.
Getting on
One
to
of the
apologize
other
for the
one of the other authors
sniffing.
that I like, Will White. He
Will?
he released a video on Instagram. He's like, I too have lied.
What did he announce?
I don't know. He might. I think he was doing a Kickstarter thing for his books, but it was very kind of like tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
I too have written a secret novel. Really, just kind of jokingly capitalizing on the popularity.
That's a good meme, though. That's a great meme. I love
That's funny.
the micro memes.
Yeah,
where it's,
me too.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I think that's the episode, fellas.
That is the episode.
But
we got one
Terrible
more
tier.
segment.
Oh yeah, terrible tier. I actually forgot.
all right, Wyatt.
You
want me to
did pick
introduce?
one though,
And it
right?
was- yeah.
You did pick one though, right?
You want to introduce anything?
Yeah. Look, I hate to do two. I hate to do two comic book movies.
Oh no!
Back to back.
Is it a DC movie?
No.
Oh,
The
I don't.
last one he did was Venom.
I hate to do two
Carnage.
back to back.
That was Marvel. Is this Marvel?
Yeah.
Two Marvels?
Yeah. It's Black
Oh,
Widow.
I was about to pick this last time.
It's Black
Widow was terrible.
Yeah.
The only thing it did was set up this character, and that was it.
That's it.
Black Widow's little
That's
baby
it.
sister.
Yeah.
I didn't care about this character. I didn't care about Black Widow's because we already know she's dead. No, I don't even. But
Taskmaster.
yeah, we only. Yeah, it was
Taskmaster
He wasn't
terrible.
even in the movie that much. Why is he on this? What?
I mean, it's kind of like Zendaya with Dune.
yeah.
Was Taskmaster, did he live up to anything that you expected from
Well,
him?
number one, in this, Taskmaster is a woman, which I don't have a problem with. But Taskmaster has to be really, really scary and cool.
Yeah.
And that first scene,
And they
you see
made it an
Taskmaster
attractive
in-
woman.
No,
Yeah.
no, she's not.
Not
She's
attractive.
hideously scarred.
Ooh.
Um,
Wait, that doesn't make a woman
Wait, you haven't seen this movie?
attractive. No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay, don't.
No, usually if you're hideously scarred, you're unattractive.
It depends on where the scar's at.
No, she wears
a
the
nice
mask.
little scar
She
running
wears
across
the
the
mask
navel.
because she was in an explosion. The first scene you see Taskmaster in on the bridge with Scarlett Johansson, really cool.
Yeah,
Feels
yeah.
very Taskmaster.
Yeah.
But overall, they didn't really do the character justice. Taskmaster is a really scary, cool character. Not much. But the movie as a whole felt dumb. It didn't feel very fun. I wanted more like Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Like the Bourne Identity, Scarlett Johansson running from, this is like right after Civil War, so she's kind of running from the government.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted, if she's going to interact with this character and this character, I wanted them to be like people who come in, under the radar to help. It wasn't that. Or kind of James Bondy. She's a secret agent. They could have done a James Bond thing with her.
Something I don't like with Marvel is she's a super highly skilled assassin. It's like you're just going to throw in all these other assassins that are just as good as her,
Right.
which makes her not special at all. So it's like you become assassin, you get to be assassin.
Also, these other Black Widows and her sister was one of them. They're under the like mind control, right? And then once they're not under the mind control anymore, they're normal people.
Yeah.
No, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be a normal person, and I feel like the conditioning would still be there. That's just how I feel.
Well, I wonder if when they made the film Salt, you remember that one with Angelina Jolie? I wonder if they were thinking of the comic book Black Widow story.
If this had been Salt, I would have been stoked.
Yeah. Salt.
Because it had a lot of salt
It
elements.
did have a lot of salt.
Well, the story of Black Widow is similar to Salt,
Yeah.
but Salt was awesome and this wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
This isn't a 100% like don't go see or don't watch.
So it's not at the bottom of the terrible tier, but
It's not like
a
it's
good
not going
film
to be
either.
the bottom like
Well,
definitely
top
don't.
terrible tier.
This is like I mean I just wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, you would be like, this isn't necessary to put
Yeah.
your time into. Watch Salt rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only parts I really had fun with was like that first Taskmaster scene
Okay,
or the second Taskmaster scene.
that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Don't waste your time with Black
Don't
Widow.
waste your time.
And don't forget, Friday at 10 p.m. we have a new episode of the Midnight Special coming out for you on audio platforms. And if you want to watch the video version of it, check out our Patreon. Links in the description.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
The sniffles. I got a lot of sniffles in this.
Yeah, you got your allergies. I'm telling you, you got to take your. Have you
For
blowed your
the
audience?
stop.
Have you blowed your audience?
All of them. Jeez.
We gotta keep that in an episode.
That was a slip of the tongue.
Yeah, it was a Freudian slip.
Have you blowed your nose yet since these sniffles have arrived?
It depends.
Gosh dang.
No, I don't think I've heard him blow his nose. No, I did.
No, yeah, last night.
He
Remember,
got in the shower this morning.
oh
and I heard,
yeah, yeah. Well,
Real
no,
loud.
I was sitting in the shower going, huh?
I did. I heard that.
And and I come like 10 minutes later. I'm sitting in my bed reading something out loud, which is weird, but he's not. I know he's not awake,
I
asleep
actually
anymore.
didn't hear that.
Oh, well, he's like, Josh, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. Question mark. I was like, why? And you're like, I heard you talking in the shower, and I was just concerned about you. And I was
So
like,
100%, 100%. I heard the sneezing, and I heard the. But I guess the people in that apartment were talking, and I thought he was talking in his shower to
I
himself.